course, heard before on breakfast. We've talked about it. Skipping breakfast is one of the most unhealthy things a child can do. This morning, new research suggests eating the wrong kind of breakfast could also be damaging.
Yeah, Public Health England says the high sugar content of some of our most popular cereals, spreads and juices, things like you can see on the desk here, means the average child in England has already consumed half the healthy daily limit before they even get to school.
You can do some adding up for us in a minute, aren't you?
Yes, I will.
How can we keep track of what children are eating for breakfast and what other healthy options? GP Dr. Rangan Chatterjee is here with us. Morning to you.
Morning, Louise.
We have talked about this on breakfast before, but it is quite stark when you start doing the numbers, isn't it?
It's a very big problem. I mean, Louise, I think it's important to get an idea of the scale of the problem. 1 in 5 children in this country, when they start primary school, are either overweight or obese. By the time they reach secondary school, that figure has gone up to 1 in 3 children. So a third of our kids, by the time they start secondary school, are overweight or obese. That's a big, big problem. I think what strikes me most about the statistics that have come from Public Health England is that not only is the average child in England having more than half their daily allowance at breakfast, 80% of those parents think that they're giving their child a healthy breakfast.
And it's stuff like this, to give you an idea of how it works. So they've launched this app that tells you how much sugar is in each of these things. You can use it to scan things in the supermarket if you can get a signal. So let's just take a couple of things and I'll scan them and we'll find out how much sugar is in each of these. So this is normal chocolate spread. Now I'm going to show you the results on here. It tells you in a whole pack in 100 grams and then in one serving. So 2.1 sugar cubes in one serving. So a piece of toast with that on is 2 sugar cubes. And then let's say you have that with a normal juice drink in the morning. Let me just scan this for you.
Which you might assume that the juice is healthy, mightn't you?
Yeah, you might do. I think people know about sugar, don't we? We know about biscuits and cakes, but I think it's the hidden sugars that are causing the problems.
And that's 3.8 sugar cubes in one serving of orange juice. So together you've got over 5, nearly 6 actually.
Yeah,
those two together in one breakfast.
Absolutely. And so if you're a child aged 4 to 6, the recommended daily allowance for added sugar is 5 sugar cubes. You're going over that with this breakfast. I think that seems like a reasonable breakfast for people. So I think it's trying to educate people about trying to make better choices.
Okay, so a better choice might be, for example, what?
Well, I mean, I've got 2 kids at home, so I'm very used to this sort of dilemma. And we do things like eggs and avocado in the morning. So you can do it, 6 minutes it can take? But, I've timed it before. It doesn't have to be a big effort, I have to cook a fresh breakfast for my children. You can have quick, healthy foods. So eggs are a really common one. Avocados are a really common one. What we often do is we make a lot of dinner the night before, and we often heat up leftovers in the morning.
Really?
Yeah,
so that's quite a change, isn't it? Because you assume breakfast is a particular type of a meal.
Absolutely, and I think it will require a cultural change. If we're used to having cereals, which are full of sugar, juices, which are full of sugar, I think it is going to take quite a lot to change our perception. But I don't think just concentrating on the breakfast kids are having is the whole story. I think it needs joined up thinking. When people go to school, I remember the week before Christmas, my 6-year-old was at school, and on Monday, on Tuesday and Wednesday, it was a sugar fest. It was, all in the name of Christmas. And I understand it's a particular time of year, but I strongly think that the problem is so bad now that I don't think we should be encouraging children at school to be having sugar.
So with that in mind, would something like a sugar tax due to come in on fizzy drinks next year, would that be something that you would encourage?
I encourage it because I think every little thing helps. I don't think one thing in isolation is going to turn around the tide of this epidemic that we've got, but I think a sugar tax is going to help. I think empowering people with an application that they can actually make better choices is going to help. But I think schools also need to be involved. I think teachers need to be involved, doctors, the government. I think the only way we're going to get on top of this is everyone has some joined up thinking. And really what it comes down to is we need to get back to sugar being the occasional treat rather than the everyday norm.
It's really good to talk to you as always. Thank you very much indeed for your time. Thank you. What are you having for breakfast this morning?
When I get back, I think we're having roast chicken left over from last night with some veg.
Do you know what? That's my kind of breakfast, roast chicken, to be honest. Not that I have it often.
It's a good way to start. I'm tempted to dip my finger in that, but I won't.
I've got some chia. What do I've got? I've got cumin, yogurt and porridge this morning.
It's not too bad.
I have peanut butter on toast.
We can't get enough on that, I don't think.
No.
Thank you very much for coming in there.